Hello, welcome back to the Makeso channel. We've been gone for about a month and a half because we were moving, like I said in the last video. We're not fully set back up, but we're getting there. And I just wanted to make a video today, which is going to be mostly a talking video. If you've not been here before, we are Makeso here in Singapore. We are a maker society, hence the name Makeso, and we deal with craft and maker products here in our shop in Singapore, but we also sell online on Etsy, and we sell on Amazon as well to our larger craft community within the United States, where we make crafting tools and crafting blanks and crafts ourselves that we share with the community and put for sale online. And we also like to use this to broaden the community for questions, answers, ideals. People want us to create things and where we can communicate and connect with you. And so it's been a really great thing to do this channel. So in our new space here, I'm going to try to get the framing right. I think I'm going to do my talking pieces right here, where we'll have a little bit of things on display. As you probably know from the old place, we had our Makeso sign here, which we're going to replace. It got kind of scratched up and messed up in the move, so we had to remove the vinyl, and that was a vinyl piece, so we could probably do a demonstration of a vinyl decal that we did that was pretty large and broken up, so it was really cool. We'll probably do that as a demo, so we'll probably do a lot of demos as we're setting things up here in the space, but it's going to be a little jump and rough go as we start. But today, to get right to it, we came to talk about Facebook groups. And so I belong to a lot of Facebook groups on Facebooks and a lot of Facebook craft groups. So we're going to talk specifically about Facebook craft groups. I also belong to some groups that actually sort of are crossover with the crafts groups. Like I have a laser group and a woodworking groups that I belong to, and some UV printing groups. So I might touch on those a bit to tell you the differences. And then of course I belong to very leisurely groups like a whiskey group and some sports groups that have absolutely nothing to do. But I belong to a lot of crafting groups, some general crafting, a couple leather crafting, and then a lot of Cricut and Cameo craft cutter crafting, which is a very hard thing to say. You can go ahead and try to say it 5 times fast. Craft cutter crafting, maybe it's just me, but I belong to those groups a lot, and I post a lot in those groups, and you guys might have seen a lot of posts in those groups. And so I want to make this video because I've seen a lot of posts lately in the craft groups and a lot of issues coming up about how those groups develop, and some things that I love about the groups, because I do love them, because that's why I belong to a lot of them. But there's things that start to go awry, especially when they start to get bigger. I've been doing this for a while, so I've been on craft groups. I've seen some in the beginning that have grown from a couple thousand users up to 100,000 users. And what you find is in the beginning, you have a nice small group, and it's the same people commenting all the time, which that could be a problem because it becomes limited. But then the group starts to grow. And when the group starts to grow, there's 2 things happens that across 2 groups of people. There's your users and then your admins. And so most of it is good when it starts to grow, because when it starts to grow, you get more people, you get more connections, you get more people adding things into the group, and you'll get more questions answered from a diverse diverse group. Because as we all know in the crafting game, there's not a single answer to every crafting question. So it's good to get a lot of different multiple answers to come in. But what you'll start to get when you start getting these real large groups is you'll start getting people that'll come in and start posting really political stuff, or start poking at the group, people that always make a negative comment or very snarky. I must say, as I belong to a lot of other groups, craft groups has a lot less than this than everybody else. Like even in my laser group, you can post, something simple. Ooh, look, I made a daisy for my mom, and you'll have like 15 posts and 8 of them will be negative. And how could you make a negative post about a daisy for your mom? They'll find a way. but you don't get that in craft groups. But when the groups gets larger, you do start getting some negative posts, and that becomes a problem, but it's a very manageable problem. But the real issue that I see with craft groups, I think, comes from the admin side when these groups start to get really large. Because when you do something successful and you get a large group to join, that power that the admin gets can actually change the admin and change the group. Specifically if the group has an agenda, like if it's a cricket group and it could be sponsored, or it contains a lot of people who are like in the cricket cult, who won't let anything bad be said about the cricket product. That could become a problem, because then you will stop getting real answers. Because I notice in a lot of groups, I will censor my shelf. I will see things that I go, I don't like that, but I'm not going to say anything because I know it's not going to come off well in the group. I'm going to get a lot of blowback. When you do that and people censor themselves, as a community, we're all losing out, because we're losing out on those answers to those questions. The second thing that I have is when the admins have an agenda, and their agenda is not to let anybody share anything that they think that they have anything advantage on. And I understand, I see groups where people come in and spam the group with, oh, go buy my stuff here or go buy my stuff there. That's not cool, and that is another thing that I wouldn't like to see or like to have. But there's an issue comes in, is that if the admin sees anything that they could contrive as some smaller seller is getting some sort of advantage or some sort of exposure, they will come and they will actually shut down the posts, or even individual comments they will take and delete. And I think that's starting to become an issue on the craft groups, especially when people are posting about when they're making things. Because when I post a lot on these groups, and a lot of things I post is like t-shirt videos. And there's a lot of things that go in my t-shirt videos. Some of the things we actually make ourselves. And so, but everybody knows that I use like Sizer vinyl. So I will post, and people will ask me a question all day about what type of vinyl to use. I can say I use Sizer vinyl all day long, and admin will not say a word at all. But as soon as they say, oh, what t-shirt guide that is, I say, I'll say it's an Easy Tee by Hestai. Boom, they will come in and they'll shut it down, because they say, oh, this is a small seller trying to gain advantage, and we're gonna shut that down. And I think they're right in the sense, if somebody comes in and says, post a thing, come buy my t-shirt guy. But if somebody posts, hey, I made this t-shirt, I'm giving it to the craft group, and they're answering questions about various things that they don't sell, and somebody asks them about something that they do sell, and they add that into their comment, I don't think the person should be shut down and penalized for that. I don't think it's a major issues. There's a couple groups that I've just left because, they just don't want you to post anything. And the problem comes in is I won't post, like now, I won't post links on when somebody asks me a question. Definitely don't ever post links. I will just make a statement. This is where I got it from. But I answer all the questions. But now that they come in and they delete various comments, it makes you look strange, because sometimes you'll see where people come in and ask a question and it looks like I'm just not answering, which you get that a lot, where people just post things and people will ask questions and people won't just come back and answer the questions. But you'll look like you're not answering questions or you're not engaging in the community when you actually are, but the admin is just deleting your posts. And that becomes an issue for me, and why I left a couple groups here and there, and I'm very choosy about the groups that I post into, even though it's one thing I do love about the community and love the Facebook groups and posts. So that's my quick take on the Facebook groups. We have our own Facebook group. It is the Cricut and Cameo Craft Cutter Projects by Hestai. You can look that up on Facebook. It's also linked in the description below. There, We love people to come and share. And if you happen to mention about a product you're selling, it's not going to be a big deal to us, because that's what crafting is about to us. It's about sharing and sharing with the community. Of course, if you come and try to spam the group, that would be an issue, and we would deal with that. But just general sharing what you do and sharing if you sell things and sharing what you sell is I think it's good for us, and it's good for the community as a whole, because we should be wanting to lift up the whole craft community together. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we're back. Not hopefully we're back. We are back, and I will be posting videos more. I'm going to try to get it to once a week. And as soon as we can get back to the demonstration portion, we'll be doing some demonstrations of the things we're doing in the shop with some of the things that we sell here in the shop that you can get online on our Etsy Hestai shop, or you can look us up on Amazon. And thanks for watching.